I'm all dressed up right now. I just came from the Kennedy Center where I worked the red carpet for the Mark Twain Prize honoring Kevin Hart. And I'll definitely be posting some more video and footage from that. But I'm just full of energy right now because that's what happens when you see, at one point in the show, actually most of the show, Chris Rock and Jerry Seinfeld were sitting next to each other. And Dave Chappelle comes and sits next to them. And I was just watching the three of them watching the show. And that was my show. It was really incredible to watch. And it was an incredible event to be a part of. And for once, I can actually feel a part of the event. I actually felt a part of the event. I also worked the red carpet back in 2019, and I had all these mental gymnastics I had to get over because part of me wanted to be on the other side. And there were people that were peers of mine at one time in comedy that had gone on to do extraordinary things that were on the show and that were working in much bigger capacities. And I used it as a mirror and a litmus test for how far I haven't gone and how much I haven't done, that I was on this side of it and I was working it as opposed to being a part of the celebration. And it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good at all. This time around, it felt much better. I feel like I'm in a much better place mentally, and I'm in a much better place as far as acceptance and as far as gratitude with my career and all the things I have been able to achieve. And I was happy to be asked to come and do it again and be able to see some old friends. And my wife came with me and she supported me, and that felt really good to have her by my side. And it just felt like a completely different experience than it has in the past. I did want to mention, before we left, there was an after party, and we went to the after party, even though we knew we had a babysitter and it was costing us money to stay out late. We went to the after party and walked around for a bit, ate and all that. Noticed that we didn't see any of the people that I was working with or any of the other comedians at the after party. And towards the end, like right before we left, we saw that there was a VIP. And my wife and I were talking about, should we try and go into the VIP? Turns out my wristband didn't have the right code for VIP. But I was talking to the security guy who's like, you can talk to that woman. She's been letting people in because very few people actually have that. So I talked to my wife about whether I should even do it because we were like about to leave. And it was one of those things where I kind of wanted to do it just for my own personal, like I kind of just wanted to do it just to take that step. And the reason why is because I'm really not into like after parties and stuff like that because I'm sober. And so I don't put myself in a lot of situations that aren't immediately beneficial. Not to mention the fact that I'm an introvert and can be very antisocial. So I don't hang out like that. I hang out like that with friends, but I don't hang out like that, especially not professionally. But it's crazy. Like I beat myself up about that a lot because I wonder about how many opportunities were lost because I decided to be introverted and go home, right? Or I decided not to challenge myself for facing my fears and go home. Who knows? In my mind, this magical world of wonders would have unfolded for me if I challenged myself and stay out. The reality is probably somewhere in the middle, but it's probably not nothing, right? In terms of opportunities that might have presented themselves had I decided to stay out and socialize and just be one of the group, right? So part of me wanted to talk myself into VIP just to take that extra step. We decided not to because had I done that, then I would have felt compelled to stay. And then now I'm holding my wife and the babysitter hostage because I feel like I need to stay in VIP. So we decided not to do it and just turn around and leave. But I was willing to do it, and that shows a lot of growth. Not to mention the fact that I just posted on Instagram the other day, a couple days ago, I posted on Instagram and a video, and I'll probably will post it to this account too, but ostensibly it was about not robbing the universe of your unique gifts, that you have very specific and unique gifts that only you can offer the universe. and you being encompassed by all this self-centered fear, right? All your self-judgment and all that is robbing the world of your special, unique gifts. And I never consider the thought that in this moment, like in this world of I'm see everybody else interacting and I feel less than, the opportunity that I might have to actually offer something. Yeah, I might actually have something to offer. Never occurred to me that I might actually have something to offer. So I just wanted to share that, just because I know I'm certainly not the only person that talks themselves out of those kinds of situations, who needs to be reminded that they have these gifts and they are to be shared with the world. And sometimes you have to confront fears and put yourself in difficult situations in order to share that gift. And there's growth that comes with just taking that step. I didn't take that step today because it wasn't practical. We thought it actually would have made the situation worse for us. But I was willing to take that step. And I know I was willing to take that step. And that shows a whole lot of growth. And that is in addition to how I felt about working this event, period. And how I had so much more gratitude and joy in working this event than I had felt in the past. And so I feel really dope about that. I'll end with this, the energy that I have, the emotion that I feel from being around comedians, great comedians, is unmatched. And that's what, those are the things that show me that you cannot wander too far away from this thing, because the energy that it gives you and the hold that it has over you is something that you can't find anywhere else. And sometimes I need to be reminded of that. Sometimes I need to be put in environments like this to remind me of just how dope that thing is, how critical that thing is to me. And being a part of that event was one of those things. So I wanted to get on my phone and start texting my boy about, let's set up a show, let's set up a regular this, that, and the other thing. You know what? I'm gonna take this energy and I'm gonna sit on it. I'm gonna write about it. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna speak on it and meditate on it. And if I still feel that way in the morning, if I still feel that way in a couple days, then I will take those steps. But had I not said yes and stepped up and worked this event and felt these feelings, I wouldn't know. I definitely wouldn't be sending that text. So anyway, today was a day of huge growth, and I'm grateful, one, for the growth, but I'm also grateful to be able to share that as well. So hopefully you guys had a beautiful weekend, and definitely don't get used to me rocking these clothes. I literally just ran upstairs and recorded this before I changed, but it's time to get comfortable and sleepy.